What it do, YouTube? What's goody? It's your favorite cozy boy in a cozy little hoodie. Nah, this is a blanket. But yeah, man. If you do not know where in the hell you at and where in the hell you just landed, this is the Cozy Clubhouse. And if you don't know who in the fuck I am your host with the most, rapper, artist, producer, um, gamer, anime enthusiast, content creator. The one and only, better known as Bambi, aka Bambi X Bambi, aka capital H, capital I, capital M. Bottom line, I'm just motherfucking him. And this is the Cozy Corner podcast. Look at me trying to do that shit all fast and shit, trying to flex on y'all because I know how to talk quick and shit like that. But anyway, yeah, man. If you enjoy what you see on this on the Cozy Clubhouse TV channel here on the YouTube, and you like what the fuck it is that we do, man, leave a like, sub up because that does help and that does go a long motherfucking way, man. Yeah, man, a lot happened this week. I mean, a lot happens every week, but you know what I mean. A lot of interesting things happen this week, and it might get a little bit spicy for y'all. So some of y'all's little feelings might get hurt, but you'll be alright though. Yeah, just gonna say it like that off top and off rip. Yeah, a lot of y'all little feelings might get hurt, but you'll be alright. And it goes a little something like this. So, a little clip that came across my desk was something from the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, boys. If you guys have been following the Cozy Corner podcast, you guys do know that these guys are my favorite guys to watch in the podcasting space. I just think the idea that they've introduced to the game and what they've introduced to the game is definitely next level. It's fire. It's forward. It's innovative, and I do all the way fuck with them boys. But yeah, so it's this clip that's going around from them that's surfaced. That I'm not gonna hold you had me feeling the way when I first seen it. Yeah, we just gonna come out and straight just talk about it like that. When I first seen this shit, it had me feeling the way. Because of the fact that, you know what I mean, it's one of those things where for me, I definitely fuck with Omeezy, I fuck with Damo, I fuck with Sage, I fuck with Souls. Yeah, it's just that thing of where just that whole comment that Omeezy made was kind of weird. So the comment was, and the title of the clip was that rap and or hip hop is strictly just a black thing. And it's a lot of shit that Omeezy does that I don't necessarily like all the way agree with for real. But you know what I mean? This was just one of those things where I'm just absolutely gonna just straight up right now on my pod, straight up all the way just say, nigga, you wrong. You straight up wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. And this is exactly how the way we gonna fucking start this shit off. Because as a content creator who is also an artist, as was aforementioned in the beginning, yeah, I didn't fuck with that comment, bro. And I'm not even gonna sit here and call that shit a genre because that's what them other folk do. Them other folks sit there and call our shit a genre when our shit is a whole culture. Our shit is a whole culture. And if you don't believe me, I have some examples right the fuck now as a motherfucker who's been in this shit. So let's get into it. First and foremost, for those of you guys that have been following me and do know me from the Showstopper TV series here on the channel, you guys do know that I highlight not only myself and the songs that I have coming out and the songs that I've been working on, but I also do highlight my friends, and other, like, you know what I mean, and my other, like, you know what I mean, my other fellow fam in the collective of the village, here in the city, you know what I mean, here in my world, in my part of Cali. You know what I mean? So it's just that thing of where it's just like, first of all, I can say this right now. First and foremost, hip hop is for everybody. It was always meant to be for everybody. Yeah, that's exactly what the hell did this shit. Like, you know what I mean? That's exactly what the hell the roots of this shit are exactly all about. um, giving social commentary about giving social commentary um, to the ones that are more fortunate than us, a little, like, you know what I mean, giving them a chance to get a little window peek into what life is like for us, um, coming up and using this culture and this expression to therefore do so. Uh, which leads me to my point of saying, honestly, one of my favorite rappers out right now in my city is not black, and he goes by the name of Corbin. He's a white boy that honestly raps a lot better than a lot of my black peers. And honestly, I'll go enough to right now stand up and say this shit right the fuck now and jump out the window and say that's the only white boy that's fucking with me. That's the only, like, you know what I mean. And it's not even about race, so I'm not even gonna sit here and make that shit about race for real. But I'm gonna just say this shit right now. As a nigga in this culture, that's the only nigga that's the only boy right now. Like, you know what I mean. That's the only boy right now, pin for pin, that's standing next to me. And I said what the fuck I said, niggas. Come test the pen if you want to. Now, back to you, Mr. Omizi. So with that being said, it's that thing of where, again, it's that whole thing of where, again, like with the drill music thing, all of us aren't committing fucking felonies and shit in all of our rhymes. And it's just the one thing that with a guy like Corbin, I really, really do fuck with the fact that he takes the art form very, very much serious. Um, and he prides himself on having a very, very good pen. And you can tell he writes that shit from his soul. Yeah, there's a soulful element to this shit, and you don't have to be black to have soul. And that's the way I look at this shit. So if you want to sit here and make those kind of comments like that, just know you going to hear from me every fucking time, Omizi. And I fuck with you, my boy, but you are wrong as fuck. You are wrong as fuck for that comment. This is not just a traditionally black art form anymore. It may have started off that way for the first couple of years or what the fuck ever, but it's not that no more. It's not that, and that is not this no more. The current state of this culture is that we are for every fucking body. We are for and with every fucking body. We are literally around the whole entire world, and everybody around the whole entire world is not black. So what the fuck does that make? Like, you know what I mean? So what the fuck does that make this art form then? Our art form is global, my nigga. And everybody around the globe isn't black. And that's the whole fucking problem, because it's that whole fucking thing of where it's just like, it's because of comments like that of why we as people can't expand in these other genres. Because it was that whole thing, again, with somebody like Lil Nas X, when Lil Nas X came out and he made Old Town Road, and it was that whole thing of where all them folks in country music was literally, without saying it, saying, hey, you know, like, we fought with the song and the song is cool and it's cute or whatever, but really, without saying it, this is like traditionally a white, like, you know what I mean, this is traditionally a white music space, and things of that nature. So yeah, we not gonna let you count this shit as a country song, because it's not a real country song. And we all got behind that boy, and we fought for that man to get that song counted as a country song. So much to the point that even Billy Ray Cyrus got his ass involved. If we want to talk about it. And so it's that whole thing of where it's just like, it's that point of where we got to graduate from this space of just thinking that, like, you know what I mean, stuff like hip hop and R&B is just ours. Yes, my nigga, we started it, but that's the whole fucking problem, and that's the whole fucking issue, and that's why the world isn't gonna grow nowhere and get no fucking where, because of the fact of that kind of stupid ass mindset, where it's just like, oh, this shit is just us, and it only belongs to us, and it should only be for us, and this is only our thing, and our. No, nigga. No. Share that shit with everybody. You hear me? With everybody. Share that shit with everybody. That's the whole fucking problem, bro. We sitting here trying to like make some shit like so like culturally and racially exclusive, and that's why the world isn't evolving like it should be. We got too many people with these closed-minded ass mindsets, which is kind of funny, my nigga, because you, again, I'm not gonna shit on you too hard because you younger than me, so you ain't lived enough life, and you also aren't a rapper, so you know what I mean. I'm not going too hard on you, my boy, but for surely, you know, just do know this is the biggest part, and this is one of my biggest issues of why we can't culturally evolve and elevate because of the fact that we want to sit here and try to gatekeep some shit that, you know what I mean, that we didn't even. Yeah, there was folks that were black that made it up, but it's that one thing for me in the way that I look at it, and this is probably like, you know what I mean, some shit of where like that shit'll probably get me dunked on for this, but it's like that thing of how much I do not give a damn. It's the whole thing for me of where it's just like I did not sit, like I did not hear, and I was not like, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was one of the like forefathers that like started out this shit in this hip hop space. I just kind of grew up and was raised off the shit, and that's how I wound up getting into it. I was just raised off of it, man. And I know that it's one of those things that's going to evolve and elevate. I know it's one of those things that was meant to evolve and elevate. Because that's literally what every culture of music is meant to do. With the exception of pop music, because of the fact that that shit just means popular music. And that's the whole reason of why that music, like of why that music and that genre is like honestly like surviving so, is because of the fact that, to be quite honest, like that shit is just picking and like, you know what I mean, that shit is just picking and taking and choosing from all the rest of our cultures and just being like picking and choosing all of the popular elements from our cultures and then just being like, pop music with the song structure. And just like, you know what I mean? It's just presenting shit in a more digestible fashion for folks. And that's all of that is. Whereas in hip hop, song structure is hook, verse, hook. Like, you know what I mean? Or the, you know what I mean? In most sense, the song structure for a hip hop song is two verses and three hooks. In pop music, it's a verse, a hook, a bridge, a hook, and maybe a little cutesy ass little outro if you're feeling spicy. But other than that, man, like it's literally the only difference between us, man. It's just the way that you structure your songs. It's the whole different thing is that, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna dunk on you too hard because of the fact that I'm just speaking from the place of a nigga that actually loves this shit. I just love super dope music, regardless of what genre it is. Whether that be hardcore rock, whether that be punk rock, whether that be pop punk, whether that be, like, you know what I mean, grunge, emo punk, reggaeton, all of that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I just love dope ass music. Regardless of time period, and yeah, regardless of genre, like I said, regardless of genre or style, rather. But I didn't fuck with that comment, bro, and I still don't, and I never will. I will never fuck with anybody who makes those kind of comments. That's why you can't get nowhere in life, and that's why you won't get nowhere in life. And that's why you won't get to see the world like that for real. because you put yourself in a box and think that we just belong in these hip hop and like you know what I mean. You think we just belong in these hip hop and R&B spaces. When I don't know if you've been paying attention for the last however many years, hip hop has become the most popular genre. Like you know what I mean. It's become the most popular style of music in the fucking world. You know, I don't know if you hit your head or slipped your goof ass on a rock somewhere. Um, you know what I mean? I don't know if you slipped and hit your goof ass on a rock, but you know what I mean. Welcome. You know, for the past couple of years, we've been pretty popular, and yeah. So you know, shit like that. Continuing on, going into something else I seen. So I watched Offset's interview on Hot 97 um, with him and Ebro and the gang. Um, excuse me, excuse me. And he had a lot of good points. He had a lot of actually great points. Actually, um, yeah, he had a lot of great points. He had, you know, he talked about some stuff. Um, you know, he talked about some stuff. He talked about why he did the interview with Bobby Altoff and things of that nature, and you know why he went out there and made this shit happen, um, and things of that nature. Like you know what I mean? Like he talked about that. Um, he talked about that, and then you know what I mean. He mentioned the conversation of yeah, he talked about that for a good little bit. And really just like quick little side note before I get into my point. Quick little side note, I thoroughly enjoyed his interview with Bobby Altoff. I know a lot of people don't fuck with her right now in the culture for whatever reason, and they want to say like, oh, she's a culture vulture and things of that nature, and all of this other shit. But if you go back and look at last week's pod, I talked about that already and how that shit works. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's only as famous as you niggas are making her. So, you know, that's whatever. If you niggas want to get mad at the fact of her interview style or whatever, like, she just does that shit to try to be fun. Like, you know what I mean? That like, she just does that shit because she obviously probably seen that shit on TikTok or something and was like, oh, bet, I'm going to make a podcast and I'm going to do my shit like this. But again, coming from somebody who actually is socially awkward, like I can thoroughly and wholeheartedly tell you like that shit is an act. Like, bro, obviously she doesn't really act like that. You dig what I'm saying, my nigga? Like, she doesn't really act like that. And Bobby, when you do see this, prove me wrong. Again, as a nigga who actually is socially awkward, prove me wrong. I would thoroughly love you to. But I already know what's up and I know the game. I know how this media shit work. I know how it works. So try to play me for a fool if you want to. Sorry ass motherfucker. Anyway, back to the point at hand. It was towards the tail end of Offset's interview on Hot 97 where he talked about the reason. He talked about when Beyonce had her Renaissance tour show in Atlanta. It was either in Atlanta or in Houston when she brought him out. I believe it was in Atlanta because she brought Slim Thug out in Houston. I seen clips from that. I know she brought Slim Thug out and Meg for the Houston show. And Meg looked amazing. You know what I mean? So shout out to Meg, as always. Shout out to the OG Slim Thug as well, man. Um, Still doing your goddamn thing. You know what I mean? You are a legend. And I thank you for everything that you've contributed to the culture. But yeah, anyway, so Offset goes out there and he does his thing and he says, watching one of the greatest performers of my generation inspired me to bring that to the hip hop space. Now, the reason why that is so important is because of the fact that it's that thing of what I have to get across a lot of people's heads who might be just like brand new to what it is that I do on the music side of things, because you're probably just meeting me on the content creating side of things, so you think that this is just all I do or whatever. So newsflash for you, it's not. But hi, hello, welcome, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming, type shit. And yeah, man, it's that whole thing for me that really gears my grinds and scuffs my Tims a little bit. Shout out to Jazz the Rapper. Is just yeah, it's gotta be yeah, and this is the main reason why I'm bringing it up is because because even Offset said we gotta get to a point in the hip hop space of we gotta do more than just getting out there on these stages and just either standing in one spot, or you gonna have to do a whole lot more than just walking around back and forth. I mean, that shit cool because you get the angles and you get, like, you know what I mean, and you get guys that can make cool ass little visuals out that shit and shit like that. But trust and believe me, that's why it's one of those things of where it's just like, I'm well aware that in the hip hop space, y'all niggas look at me as a fucking weirdo because of the fact that I also pride myself on putting on a goddamn show. It's the whole fucking point, nigga. That's why these motherfuckers pay tickets to come see us, nigga. So let me put some of y'all niggas on game of why it is I do what the fuck it is that I do, and why I go so hard with with, like, you know what I mean, with the rapping, the singing, and the dancing. Why all of that shit is encompassed with what it is that I do. Because at the end of the day, it's about entertaining these people. These motherfuckers work all goddamn week. You know what I mean? They get paid every goddamn 2 weeks. A good majority of them. They save up their money. They find out when we come into their goddamn city. They pay tickets. Like, you know what I mean? They buy tickets to come and see us. And you know what I mean? It's one of those things where a lot of those things where it's just like, it's a lot of the home, it's a lot of lady friends that I know, and have had over the years that, like, you know what I mean? That's a whole event when they go out to concerts and shit. They got outfits that they gotta go get because they not finna go wear nothing that they, you know what I mean? If you ain't never got you some, yeah, man. If you ain't never got you something like that, you don't really know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's that whole thing of where it's just like the ladies go and they make sure they gotta put that shit on before they step out and come to see us. Like, you know what I mean? Some ladies gotta get babysitters and shit to watch the kids. If that's your demographic, that's definitely a part of mine. When I do shows, like, you know what I mean? I got somebody, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of them gotta be like, if I can get a sitter, I'll go out there and I catch you. But it's like, if I can't, I'm definitely gonna try to tune in on the live. Definitely gonna send you some love because we know what the fuck it is that you do. These are the messages that I get before I go and do my shows. And for those of y'all that aren't familiar with me and what it is that I've done, for 3 years straight, I went around the world doing festival tours, doing festival runs, um, opening up for a lot of now y'all favorite rappers. Um, at the time where we were technically SoundCloud peers. Um, and things of that nature. And it's just one of those things where even like all of those guys where I was getting those questions even then is where it's just like, bro, you could have told me that you was gonna go out there and put on a goddamn show. And my response to them all the time is the same response that I give now. And I just be like, is that not what y'all come to do? Is that not what y'all come to do? Because newsflash to all my rap friends, all of my hip hop friends, listen to me and listen to me closely. When motherfuckers stream your music, if they fuck with you, they already know you can rap, my nigga. They know that. Like, you dig what I'm saying? They know that. They know this, man. They know this when they come to see you. They already know you can rap, man. When they come to see you, big dog. That's all I'm fucking saying. When they're coming to see you, they know you could get your rap on. They know that. They know that for real. They know that. You hear me? They know that. So it's that thing of where these motherfuckers pay their hard-earned fucking money to come see you. They want to see you put on a goddamn show, my nigga. Now, again, nobody is saying run around, jump around, dance around like it is that I'm doing. That's me. That's my shit. You know what I mean? That's me and that's my shit. I was inspired by niggas like Chris Brown and Usher and shit like that. So that's where all of that comes in. Also, my high school sweetheart was a theater kid, so type shit. Do the math. I hung around a lot of kids who had dreams to be entertainers and shit like that. Shout out to all my theater kids, by the way. I fuck with y'all forever and a day. I love y'all so much. Y'all are amazing people. And fuck them people at your school that call you guys weirdos. Because it's so funny how them the motherfuckers that call y'all weirdos, and then y'all wind up being the motherfuckers that wind up making $100 million a year, or wind up acting in movies that wind up grossing like $500 million, and then they want to love y'all, and then y'all are their favorite actor and shit like that, and all that weird shit. Or you wind up playing their kid's favorite superhero type shit. You know how shit winds up happening. So, yeah, to all my theater kids, just stay down. Because you are definitely the inspiration to what it is that we do on these ends. Yeah, man. So it's really that thing with me where it's just like, this shit is like this shit is a theatrical experience. When it comes to what it is that I do. Because I'm going to just tell y'all this right now, to all my hip hop friends, as far as like bars and rapping and lyricism, my friends, like, you know what I mean? Like, people that know me know what I can do with that microphone in my hands. We all know that, like, you know what I mean? For the people that are a fan of me in that instance, they know the boy can rhyme. They know that. That's not even in question anymore. They know the bars is there. They know the schemes and the punchlines and the lyricism is all there. They know that's there. The reason of why I've been able to go around the world and do what it is that I do is because I know how to put on a motherfucking show. That's the difference. So yeah, to all of my friends locally, yeah, you've been up and down California. You've been from our city to LA and the Bay Area and back again. maybe even Vegas and back again. But understand, my main man, I done did shit in DC, New York, Texas twice. Fucking San Diego, San Jose, Seattle, Idaho, Paris, France. Fuck are we talking about? I've been able to see a good majority of the globe before I turned 30. I just turned 30 this year. BT dubs. And I got to go to all of those places before I turned 30. Because I put on a motherfucking show. That's why them motherfuckers kept calling back. That was the whole reason of why the people that reached out to me in the first fucking place reached out. It was like, hey man, say man, we know you put on a motherfucking show and we putting these shits together. And we putting these little things together for these little festival runs type shit and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, let's get that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we gonna pay you handsomely and everything. Just go get that. Like, you know what I mean? So like, let's go get that and let's go make that happen. And we made that happen. I took that advance and hired some musicians. Started us a little band. Yeah, for 3 years straight before the pandemic, we was running around the fucking globe type shit. Putting on a motherfucking show every goddamn time. And that's all I want for all of my peers, man. I want y'all to go see that shit, and I want y'all to like feel what that shit is really like, man. Cause that shit meant, like, you know what I mean? That shit is like full of experiences that I'll never ever forget. Ever. Like ever, my nigga. So, yeah. Yeah, go do that. If you have the opportunity to, go do that. For sure, for sure. But it's that one thing that I'll never forget is one of my little rap partners was like, nah, bro, I really do get it of why now you say, like, of why you call yourself an entertainer. Like, cause I see that shit now when you get on that stage, like you literally know what the fuck is up. And like, it's not for nothing. It's not like you can't rap. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, but that was never in question. You dig what I'm saying? That was literally never in question for us. It's just the performance shit we was a little eerie about. But then once we seen it, like, you shut us the fuck up, so we good on that end. That's not me flexing. That's just saying niggas know my body when it comes to this stage performance shit. And that's where the whole reason of why somebody like a Usher who can easily sell out a stadium or an arena easily, would rather do a 4,000 seating, or rather do a 4,000 seat theater 6 weekends in a row because of the show, the experience. You gotta give motherfuckers an experience that they won't fucking forget. That's the whole reason of really why The hip hop culture is so fucking behind. If we want to talk about that shit, it's so behind. Like, you know what I mean? Shows wise. Looked up a stat the other day. Since I know you motherfuckers ain't gonna believe me, looked up a stat the other day, and it showed that hip hop shows were the 17th most booked shows in the entire world. You know what I mean? The 17th most booked events in the entire world. You want to know why that is? Come get close so I can tell you about it. Motherfuckers are not going to pay 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 to just watch you stand on stage and walk back and forth for half an hour. Put on a fucking show. Alright? We good? Alright then. Speaking of which, let me give some of you up and coming artists a little bit of a gem. This kind of leads into a conversation that I was having with a good friend of mine. Well, used to be a good friend of mine. Let me just say that now. But a conversation was had between me and this individual, and this individual got upset at me because of the fact that I wasn't posting visuals and photos that he took of me on my actual main timeline. And it made him feel some type of way. Yeah, it made him feel some type of way. And well, to that, my response is just simply this. And I'll tell y'all exactly what I told him. So this is not newfound information that's coming out. My timeline is my billboard for my stuff, for things that I have going on. So it's to give people a reason to invest in me and what I have going on. Now, if you tag me in something, or you tag me in a post that you post, I throw that up in the story, in my Insta story, Facebook story, things of that nature. If the flick is really fire, I may even throw that flick real quick up on the Facebook real quick, so my family and stuff can see it. The family that follows me and keeps in tabs with me on there. But as far as my Instagram, my Twitter, yes, I said Twitter. I'm not calling that shit X. As far as my Instagram, my Twitter, my Twitch, my Kick, my YouTube, things of that nature, that stuff is all for what we're building. Reason why I'm saying that is because for the main thing that I said before, you got to give these folks a reason to want to invest in you. That's just a point in, you know what I mean? That's just a point in life of where we're at. For those of you that have aspirations to sign to record labels and things of that nature, I don't, but for those of you that do, you got to give these folks a reason to want to invest in you. They're not going to want to, you know what I mean? For all intents and purposes, these record labels are lazy. And if that shit gets me canceled, then fuck it, I'm canceled. But it's a fact. These record labels are lazy. They don't want to do all of that work. They don't want to do all of that work no more. They want to just like, you know what I mean. They just want to slap their little logo on it and help push it out to and help push out whatever it is that you have going on to more people that you wouldn't have been able to reach. That's literally all it is. It's literally all it is. It's literally all it is. I don't know what else to tell you other than that. It's what it is. You gotta give these folks a reason to want to invest in you, though. You gotta have some motion going on. Because if not, then you're just a kid on the internet doing shit. For the most part. It's all, and you know what I mean. Like that's not the shit on nobody, but it's just like in the grand scope of things, it's a lot of just kids just doing a lot of random shit on the internet. So, like you know what I mean. What is it about what you do on the internet that is standing out? That's gonna make these brands want to attach their brand name to you? What is it about these, like you know what I mean? What is it about these companies that are gonna wanna, you know what I mean, partner with you and make some things happen? If you're a fashion person, what is it about these fashion companies that are gonna make that, you know what I mean, that are gonna make them want to link up with you and do the things? Give these folks a reason to want to invest in you. Like we spoke about last week with Hove's with the whole thing, and like you know what I mean, why billionaires are billionaires, man. Because let me tell you what's not gonna work in a business meeting. You can't say all of this stuff that you like having. Like you can't say all these things that you have a business idea for, and then you're the cliff note of, like you know what I mean. The cliff note of your pitch is being like, all y'all have to do is instantly they're not investing in you. Point blank. Period. I'm telling you this right the fuck now. They're not investing in you. Point blank. Period. And that's the quickest way for somebody like me to not want to give you no money. All you got to do is, well, what have you done already? Hold the fuck on. What have you done? If that's all I have to do, what's been done on your end? What money have you put into the shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what steps in the, like, you know what I mean? What steps in the process have you taken? If that's all I have to do, what have you done on your end? Give these companies and give people a reason to want to invest in you, man. Give these folks a reason to want to invest in you. That's just that on that, man. I ain't shitting on nobody, but that's just really what that is as far as that's concerned. Oh man. Oh man, no man. Not again. Um. Well, I don't even know how to start this shit other than to just start the shit. So Drake put an album out last week that dropped called "For All the Dogs." Um, and I've been seeing comments um, from him, Yachty, shout out to Boat, um, other people talking about, you know what I mean. Drake has the hardest. Drake's hardest verse is on this album. Drake's hardest verse ever is on this album. Um, I heard a lot of y'all saying that the old Drake is back. Um, and this is really crazy because I'm a super duper OVO fan. Um, but I'm also an OVO R&B fan, so that goes without saying. Um, but I really hate to dunk on this man like that. Um, but the fact of the matter is, the fact is a fact. The For All the Dogs was a bad album. It was bad. Um, First Person Shooter is my only favorite song on that album, and that's only because J. Cole's on it. I hate the song with him and Sexy Red, and I love Sexy Red. I'm a huge fan of her and everything that she's doing um, with her little movement. Um, but that song is bad. That song is bad, fam. That song is so bad. I mean, that album, that song is, First Person Shooter is fire. Um, yeah, the song with him and Sexy Red is bad. Song with him and Yeet, it's just typical Drake, just him trying shit, like always. So like that comes to no surprise. And yeah, man, like it's a bad album. The reason why I bring all of this up is to say, to all of you Drake stans who have Drake's Johnson in your mouth, get his dick out your mouth. First of all, let's just start there. Get Drake's dick out your mouth. He's not gonna fuck you, little bro. Second off, stop asking for old Drake. All of you Drake fans, stop asking for old Drake. If you want to listen to old Drake, go listen to Thank Me Later. If you want to listen to old Drake, go listen to Take Care. If you want to listen to old Drake, go listen to Nothing Was the Same. If you want to listen to old Drake, go listen to Views. You know what I mean? And if, like, you know what I mean? I'll even throw More Life in there if More Life was your vibe. I have a couple of songs off of there that I like. I didn't like the whole entire thing. But yeah, man, like we've just gotten into this point of where some of y'all fail to realize is that Drake has been doing this shit for so long that he's to the point now in his career of where he's already solidified in this game. He doesn't have to do anything different. And the one time he did something different was because of the fact that he just felt like doing that shit. And all of us dunked on him for it. All of us dunked on him for Honestly Nevermind. All of us dunked on him for Honestly Nevermind. Now, it's probably a couple of you out there that like it. I done seen some of y'all on the internet that were like, well, honestly, Nevermind was one of my. I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me none. It didn't hurt me too bad. I was fucking with it. Like, but you gotta listen to it while you take a drive, or while you vacuuming, or while you're knitting a scarf, or a quilt, like while you're making a quilt. Like, cool, bro. We get it. You love Drake a lot. Now, please, I beg of thee. Holy fuck a doodle. Like, bro. Man, y'all. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with y'all, fam. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Yeah, that shit is crazy to me. But for real, stop asking for the old Drake back. You're not getting it back. For the Dogs was a exact example of that. Like, Drake is well aware that the young people of this, just like, you know what I mean. He's well aware of the demographic that is part of the tastemakers. Vis-a-vis the same community that I've been talking about this whole entire time on this channel since this podcast started. Shout out to the WL community, man. This nigga Drake used a gangy bar. But that's y'all man. So let me chill for all the OVO niggas be like, you're lying, fam. You sound stupid. For all the dogs, them was great. You're a waste man. This Yank don't even know what he's talking about, fam. Know your place, fam. Stop asking for old Drake. You're not gonna get it. It's gone. He's made too much money. He's far too rich now. And like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that shit. And like, again, this is coming from somebody who that's not even their like perspective on life. Because like money don't mean like all of that. To like, money is like not one of those things where it's like it don't mean all that to me. Now I do have aspirations to make quite a significant amount of it. Um, but that's more so, and I'm gonna just say this shit right now. I have dreams to make the amount of money that I want to make in my lifetime, so that I can literally sit back and so that I'm like, you know what I mean. I can show my little cousins that are coming behind me that it's possible to do it, and it's possible to do it your way. And you don't gotta, you know what I mean. And that you don't gotta play the traditional, like, you know what I mean. You don't gotta navigate that shit the traditional route for 30, 40, like, you know what I mean, for 10, 20 years before you figure this shit the fuck out. Nah, you gotta take some risks. Yeah, you gonna take some L's. Motherfuckers gonna call you all kinds of stupid. And like, you know what I mean. Folks gonna think you an idiot and all this other shit, but fuck them. Who they fuck don't make you come, and what they eat don't make you shit. So fuck them. That's all I have to say on that. But that's what the hell I'm doing this for. I'm doing this because I got little cousins under me that are looking at me and watching how I'm moving, and watching how I navigate my way through this shit. I'm literally leaving the blueprint for those under me who look up to me, for those behind me that look up to me, and that look to me for what it is that I do. If I wind up becoming famous, that's a bonus. You know, that's part of the territory. That's a bonus. That's bound to happen with this shit. Especially in this particular field of making content and things of that nature. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is just bound to happen. That just comes with this type shit. So yeah, that's coming. That's just, you know, that comes. That's what comes with this. Um, yeah, that's what comes with this. On that end, that's what comes with this. I'm not too worried about that part of things. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not too much worried about that half of things uh, when it comes to this type shit for real. You know what I mean? The fame really isn't the fame isn't the, and I'll say this shit right now. The fame isn't the end all be all goal for me. The money isn't the end all be all goal for me. The money is so that I can live comfortably, do what the fuck it is that I want to do, um, and be able to get the people that I love anything that they want. That's what the money's for. The money's not so I can buy a Maybach or buy a Ferrari, like, you know what I mean, buy a Lambo truck, buy a fucking, like, you know what I mean, live in the Hollywood Hills. Like, you know what I mean. That's not what that shit is for me. It's not why. You know what I mean. That's not what the goal is for me. I want to make $1 billion because of the fact that I want to be able to sit there and look back at my life and say that I'm the first person in my family to do fucking so. That's why I want to make $1 billion. So yeah, it's probably different with a lot of y'all. I know, actually, I know it's different for a lot of y'all, which is fine. But saying all that to say that somebody like Drake has made enough has made more than enough money. Has made more than enough money in his lifetime to um, be at the point in his career where he doesn't give a damn anymore. And part of me is like really questioning if he really did love this shit to begin with. Um, but it's whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Drake's not my best friend, so I don't have to worry about those things, and I don't have to question, bro. You know, that's not my place nor my space to. Moving on with things in life. So I seen this clip on Twitter. I seen this TikTok that was posted on Twitter because y'all know I don't have TikTok and I never will get one, so don't ask. Um, so yeah, there's this TikTok that got posted on Twitter of this girl who I guess she's a model. So she basically was strung along by this dude. Um, and it's a two part video. Obviously, it's a TikTok, so obviously type shit. Um, it was that thing. It's one of those things where she got strung along. And at the end of the first video, she was like, "So basically, I got love bombed." Um, it was the first time I had ever heard this term. Looked up what the fuck this term meant. Um, and automatically was like, okay, this shit's not real. It's just another one of these things that y'all motherfuckers just made up to try to make it a thing. Um, and I stand on that. Yeah, it's just another one of those things that y'all made up to try and make it a fucking thing. It's not a fucking thing. It will never be a fucking thing. That shit is not real. Just say that right the fuck now. Love bombing is not real. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. Just like a lot of all of these it's like a lot of all of these other things that y'all niggas think are real, like clout and all of that other fuck shit. Shit isn't real. It's not real. It's not real. And Shorty goes to like explaining. She's like, okay, well, if I didn't in the second TikTok that she makes, because I guess the first one went viral. Um, yeah, obviously the first video goes viral, and she's just like, okay, so if I didn't get love bombed, then why did he say? Why did he say he loved me? Why did he say all of this other shit? It's like, and the biggest part of where she fucked up is because she says this part right here in the video. Bro says, I can't commit a relationship to you right now, but I do love you and I have love for you. Mind you, dude she's talking about in this video is moving to another fucking state. I don't know if he's moving, but he's going to another. He's either going to another fucking state for work or he's moving to a fucking another state for a couple of years. But the way it sounded, I'll be honest with y'all, it really sounds like Bro was just going on a business trip to he was going to Vegas. I don't know why I'm trying to keep that shit a secret. Cause she said that shit in the video. Um, yeah. So he says he tells her that he's going to Vegas. More than likely on a business trip because of the fact that he's a model, so he probably has a shoot or something out there that he had to do in Vegas. And I'm not gonna do what the fuck it is that y'all women do on the internet and be like, and just like all men do, but do the reverse and be like, and just like all women do, but like how a lot of people in this lady's situation would do, with this type of behavior. She took the shit and blew the shit out of fucking proportion. It was like, so basically, I got love bombed. First of all, we've already established that shit's not real. So, you know, that part's already a L. Like, you know what I mean? An L part of your argument with a nigga like me. That's just not fucking real. So, like, I'm not gonna validate that point for you. That's not a valid point. Fucking. And the second part of things is, shorty, he's probably gonna be like right back in like 2 months tops, and he probably told you that. But it's because of the part. But it's because of the fact that you got your little feel like you. And again, as somebody who used to do this quite a bit in his younger days, used to just throw all of his feelings out there super duper early. And like, you know what I mean? And fall for somebody super duper hard, super duper fast. Like, more than likely, because of the way that you reacted, shorty, you probably didn't scare this nigga off. And now this nigga don't want to fuck with you at all. And it's fine. You could be upset, but now you just got to hold that L. Because that just is what that is. It's tough, and I hate that for you. But bro don't fuck with you, shorty. It's you know, it's tough. Sorry. That's just how I look at it. And that's just really where I'm gonna put that shit with me and for me, cause it's just like, shorty, like, bro doesn't fuck with you anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like, no longer fucks with you. Which is all fine. It's all fine. Like, that's shouldn't and couldn't be, like, the worst type shit. You know what I mean? It's whatever. Happens to all of us. You know? You thought you had you one. Turns out, bro, wasn't it. Oh well, you'll be alright. Don't worry nothing about it. You'll be alright. Word to Janae Aiko. Promise you'll be alright. Speaking of which, getting into the next type of things. So, two things that happened. First of all, I seen some things where, if anybody knows me, I'm like a super duper professional. I'm staying out of my business. But it was at one point in the day, sometime last week, where Keith Lee was going viral on my timeline for a couple of hours. So I go over to check Instagram. Shade Room is trending on Instagram for whatever the fuck reason. I go over there and I look and I see why. Shade Room, in typical fashion, does what the fuck they do. And is posting stuff about this man's family, and things of that nature. Keith Lee comes out and he puts a video out, and he says, you know what I mean? He basically says, y'all can say whatever the fuck you want about me. Just leave my family the fuck out of it. First of all, let's just stop right there before I move the fuck on. Um, First of all, shout out to my best friend and her fiance. Um, but me and my best friend's fiance are exactly the same exact way in this instance of where me and him have that same exact kind of mindset of where it's like, you know what I mean? You can make jokes about me. You can say whatever the fuck you want about me. Um, you know what I mean? You could think whatever it is that I do is whack or weird or corny or awkward or whatever the fuck. But let you mention my mother, my sister, any of my family, because I'm not gonna go down the list. Let you mention it, like literally one member of my family and see what the fuck happens to you, my nigga. Now you know what I mean. Shit is usually cozy and calm and cool and collected and semi chaotic over here by internet standards. But fuck with my family and fuck around and see what the fuck happens. Type shit. And that's exactly what the fuck kind of time I'm on. So in that instance, I rock with Keith Lee in that instance. Keep my family's name out your fucking mouth. Type shit. And then the other thing of where it was that whole thing of where y'all niggas was on the internet crucifying this man talking about some, oh, he deserved to be, you know what I mean? Like he deserves everything he got coming to him for posting the shit that he posted on TikTok. First of all, let's just stop right there and let's just have that argument. Bro didn't want to become like this viral sensation. He was just posting shit that happens in restaurants, like you know what I mean? Shit that happens in the restaurants that he goes to in the city that he's from. And them shits just went viral. Cause y'all motherfuckers can relate to them. Cause y'all motherfuckers can relate to those scenarios. And that's why he went viral. Bro has what we like to call imposter syndrome. He doesn't think he deserves to be as famous as he is. Part of the reason is because fucking the Shade Room, which is the biggest issue I have with this shit. The fucking Shade Room doing Shade Room shit. Has this, like, you know what I mean? Has this man's whole shit, like, yeah, bro. Like, that shit's crazy. Has this man's whole fucking life basically on the goddamn internet. And that shit is nobody's fucking business. But because of the fact that, like, that's y'all whole shit, it's just making messy news. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just putting out messy news. Now y'all feel away because of the fact that this man responded directly to y'all and told y'all to keep his family's name out y'all mouth. Now it's a problem, and now bro's the villain. Where they do that at? Because the school of thought that I come from is that's exactly accurate. Make all the jokes and say all the shit you want about me. I don't really give a damn because I'm not paying you no fucking attention. But don't bring my family into this. My family doesn't stream on Kick and Twitch. I do. My family doesn't produce and write their own music. I do. My family doesn't do a podcast on YouTube. I do. My family doesn't make YouTube videos. I do. So yeah, say all the shit you want to about me, my nigga, but keep my family the fuck out of it. Now, on a more local front, yes sir. On the more local front, shout out the part of California that I'm from. The Central Valley Music Awards were this last week. And yeah, man. First of all, let me just start this out by saying shout out to all of the winners of all categories. Um, Quite a few of y'all I voted for. Um, so I'm so glad to see y'all got y'all dubs. Um, you know what I mean? That y'all got y'all W's and that y'all was able to bring some hardware home. Um, Definitely am proud of y'all in that regard and in that instance. Uh, definitely. And yeah, man. That being said, let me just let you know this right now. Next year is us, cause you know what I mean. I got an album coming out sometime next year, um, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But I got an album coming out in 2024, um, that I'm really confident, uh, that next year is gonna be, you know what I mean. Next year is gonna be cozy clubhouse time, and you know what I mean. We really gonna talk that talk, and we really gonna you know what I mean. We really gonna bring that flavor back. Um, Not even bring it back. We just gonna bring a whole brand new flavor to this game, um, that the local music scene honestly just like doesn't have right now. Uh, and I'm so excited for that. Um, on purpose, like I'm just so excited about that because of the fact that I'm very confident that uh, this project that I'm gonna put out, not even like this project that I'm putting, you know what I mean. This album that I'm putting out is going to do a lot. Um, Means a lot to me. For those of you guys that were there for the process of me making this album on Twitch, um, it's definitely gonna mean a whole lot to y'all as well because y'all were a part of this process the whole fucking way. Um, yeah, man, and that's all there is to it for real when it comes to that. Um, yeah, that's all there is to it when it comes to that for real. Um, and that's really all. You know what I mean? That's really all I have to say on that. Absolutely. Shout out to each and everybody who has done their thing with that project, or with that, you know what I mean, who did their thing and came away with, you know what I mean, came away with an award, um, from that award show. Now, also in more local news, uh, you know, and this man is not paying me to do this shit. Um, it's just because I fuck with him that much. Um, ladies, if you are ladies, fellas, um, folks looking for something to do, um, looking for something to do on, I believe it's on Halloween night, um, or if not, it's the Friday before or something like that. Um, but my guy DJ K Rich is putting on his annual Hot Girl Halloween event. So if that's your, you know what I mean, if that's your move, if that's your Steve, and if that's your Zybe, go out there and hang out with my guy DJ K Rich and have you a good fucking time, man. Um, go turn up, uh, go turn up with DJ K Rich and the guys. Um, if you have a thing to shake, go ahead and go shake it. Um, yeah, and if you feel the need to throw it in a Yuletide circle, do that. You know, nobody's judging you. Go have yourself a good time and go do that. Um, and to all of y'all asking if I will be there, probably not. Just because that's not, you know what I mean? Like, y'all not the kind of people I like to party with. No offense. Love you, respectfully. But y'all not the kind of people I like to party with. Um, Respectfully with love, once again. But yeah, man, if y'all not doing nothing, you know what I mean? If y'all not doing nothing, go out there, go have yourselves a good old time, at the Hot Girl Halloween event. Should be fun. Should be a fucking movie every single time my guy DJ K Rich goes out and DJs anything here in the city. it's always fucking nuts, um, and it's always insane. It's always insane, and it's always a good time. It's always a good fucking time. Uh, so yeah, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, and I hope y'all have a lot of fun, thinging to do, and doing your thing. And yeah, moving into some more topics I seen on the timeline. Um, so some more clips from I believe a Milwaukee Bucks practice came out a couple days ago, and you know what I mean. My guy Dame Dollar was asked about my young boy Marjan Beauchamp. Um, yeah, Dame basically said he fucks with him. He said it's a dream come true to play with a, you know what I mean, to have a young backcourt mate like that. Now, I guess the big question for that is, or the big question for everybody around the league is like, oh well, does that mean because the fact that Dame said something does Mar does does Marchand does Marchand start? I don't think so because they still have Malik Beasley. You know, just in my personal opinion, I don't think so because Malik Beasley's there. Um, you know what I mean? They have Malik Beasley signed up for quite a bit of bread still. Um, so yeah, I don't think so. Um, but I've been wrong before. Um, what I will say is I do like that dynamic because of the fact that Beauchamp is he's younger. He's also a little bit more athletic. Um, it reminds me a little bit of some Dame and CJ vibes. If CJ was a little bit younger and a little bit more athletic. Um, yeah, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, if he was a little bit younger and a little bit more athletic, that would be yeah. That's what that backcourt combination reminds me of. Um, but again, shout out to Marjan Beauchamp. You know what I mean. You had a hell of a year last year, in your rookie season, and you are definitely an exciting young player of mine to watch that I don't think was talked about enough. And I'm excited to see what you're gonna do in year number 2, um, especially with a guy like Dame Dollar back there, um, and kind of helping quarterback that offense. Um, which is gonna, again, I said this before, but I'll just again reiterate it. It's gonna help take a lot of that load off of Giannis. Um, and yeah, the pick and roll situation is gonna be kind of scary and exciting to watch. Um, yeah, scary and exciting to watch. Also, I seen a clip that came out that where and this is just how W of an organization the Dallas Mavericks are. Um, so there was an interview that Kyrie did after one of their practices preparing for a preseason game. Um, and you know what I mean. And Reed basically said that he, like, you know what I mean, if he could have did it all over again, he would have wished to have been drafted there to Dallas. Um, Now, again, it's one of those things where like it's nice to dream, right? And you know, it's one of those things where it's just like a revisionist history type shit, where it's just like if the Dallas Mavs would have drafted Kyrie, what would his career have looked like? Um, you know, he obviously wouldn't have the ring. Um, he wouldn't have he wouldn't have the ring from the 2017 finals. Um, he wouldn't have those finals appearances. Um, he definitely wouldn't have had the leverage. He wouldn't have had the leverage to he wouldn't have had the leverage to push for that trade to Boston when he did. But again, that's just more so a thing of where that just speaks to how W of an organization that the Dallas Mavericks is. And you know what I mean, and how amazing of an owner that a guy like Mark Cuban is. Despite the fact that, like, you know what I mean, whatever it is that y'all want to think about this man, um, you know what I mean, having an owner that's that involved and that invested in the team that he, like, you know what I mean, in the team that he owns is thoroughly important. Is thoroughly important, and yeah, that means that means that means a whole lot more than can even like really be described in words for real. Yeah, man. Shout out to Kyrie. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kai and Luca and the Mavs and that whole organization. Like, you know what I mean? Coach Jason Kidd, everybody over there. It's gonna be really interesting to see where they wind up shaking out in that tough ass Western Conference this year. But yeah, man. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. We're gonna get into some more preseason talk here in a second. So again, I don't know how old this clip is. And I don't think it's that old. But there's a clip that I seen that Inside the NBA posted about Chuck talking about LeBron and just kind of just giving a salute to LeBron for saying how amazing that is, how amazing it is for him to have come in the NBA when he did at the age of 18 years old. Yeah, for him to come into the NBA the age that he did at the age of 18 years old, and to really not get into trouble, and to just have a level of maturity about him and things of that nature, and all of these things that he was talking about. And this is not me like dunking on Chuck in any way. Like, at no point at all is that what this is. But what I definitely will say is that more so just speaks to the fact of that LeBron understood the assignment, though. He understands the assignment, and he knows exactly what the move and the agenda is for him. You dig what I'm talking about? He knows he knew what the assignment was for himself from jump. Yeah, he knew what he was gonna do. I don't think he all the way knew what he was gonna do, like business wise, as far as like, yeah, as far as on that aspect. I think he definitely learned that as he went along. But for sure, you know what I mean? He's able to do what it is that he's able to do at this point in his career because of the steps that he's taken, because of the moves that he's made, because of the decisions that he's made, all of those kind of things, right? He's known what it is that he's wanted to do. For, like, you know what I mean, for his career's sake, for a really long time. And so yeah, it's no coincidence to me that he's sitting here About to go into year 21. Um, he's now the oldest player in the NBA. Um, and it literally looks like he can still go another 4 or 5 if he wants to. Um, doesn't look like he's going to. Um, um, yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to. Definitely looks like he's gonna ride out his last couple of years on that contract um, that he has over there in LA, and then he's gonna ride off into the sunset. And it's definitely just well deserved. He's put together a hell of a career. Um, he's beyond the most talented. He's beyond one of the most talented players to ever play the game. Uh, yeah, I understand a lot of y'all don't like him, and y'all have y'all reasons not to like him. Um, but at the end of the day, he's not my favorite player. But um, I respect his game, type shit. So that's just that on that discussion. All right, I didn't I didn't want to have to address this, but it's just too much of this situation is going on, um, and has came out to ignore. So I got to talk about it at least a little bit. Um, so for those of y'all that have a life, um, or just aren't really like tapped in with what the hell's really going on around the WL community for real. Bruce Drop 'em Off has had some stuff. Has had some group chat stuff leak um, from one of his mods, um, and I'll say it the best way that my boy Rage said it. You know what I mean? This dude was pillow talking with his mods um, about personal stuff that him and Kai and Rage and Yachty and a couple of other people were talking about. So, like, you know what I mean? Um, there's screenshots of him sending messages from one group chat to the group chat between amongst Bruce and his mods of him shitting on Kai, shitting on AMP, uh, shitting on Yachty, shitting on Rage for whatever reason. Um, Doing a whole bunch of foolishness and foolery. Um, and this is that one thing of where again this shit is gonna make me come off as like a huge ass like hater and come off like I'm really dunking on this man. Um, but bro is um, Bruce has always been on weirdo behavior. I'm gonna just come up and straight up say that now. Um, and again, I don't know, bro. So I'm not gonna be one that's like I'm not really gonna like shit on this man because of the fact that like um he was friends with Rage and Kai in real life. Um so I can't really like speak to whether he was actually like a weirdo like that or not. I can just say from what I've seen, he has definitely exhibited some weirdo behavior in some things. Uh, you know what I mean? In some behavior that he's displayed, um, with things like you know with things like an issue where the kid had you know what I mean bought some you know what I mean brought some DEO merch and you know, bought some DEO merch, and literally like instantly, this man Bruce proceeds to like dunk on this man, and just like this is why I don't fuck with the internet type shit, and like bro like spazzed out, really really quickly, and it just looked bad. Now you know what I mean. You couple that with, um, yeah. Now you couple that with the fact that, you know what I mean. Like these things, you know what I mean. Now you couple that with the fact that these screenshots, got leaked. Um, yeah, you know what I mean. Like this is, you know, you couple that with the fact that these screenshots got leaked, um, and things of that nature, and where it's just like, in one instance he's like, you know what I mean. He's sending texting Kai novels talking about how sorry he is and talking about how much he didn't mean it and all of these other things of that nature. Like, you know what I mean? He's calling Rage and tell it, like, you know what I mean? Or he's texting Rage, and sending Rage voice messages talking about how sorry he is. And then in the next couple of days, as more information is starting to like come out and leak out, then bro is like jumping out the window, like raging out on boys. Um, no pun intended, but like, you know what I mean? Like bro is jumping out the window, snapping at folks, and like that shit just ain't cool. And it never has been cool to me. Type of nigga I am, real, like, you know what I mean. Be quite honest with you, but you know what I mean. I can't expect the way I move and the way I conduct myself and the way that I handle myself and the way my body rock. Um, yeah, I can't expect everybody to move the way that I move. Especially in this industry. Like y'all gotta understand, like a lot of these niggas, and I'm really gonna get to my whole point of this. Y'all gotta understand that a lot of these niggas that y'all see, specifically like these streamers and stuff like that, like, you know what I mean, like these folks that y'all see on the net and things like that, it's just like, yeah, you're interacting with them in a chat, but you don't know them for real. So it's one of those things where in a lot of these chats, like, yeah, y'all get to get away with y'all little funny little like, ha ha, big head ass, like, you know what I mean, big nose ass, like old ass knees, like type shit, like type jokes and shit like that. Um, and some of them shits is cool, like, you know what I mean, like them shits is cool, and some of them shits is funny for real. Um, yeah, some of them shits is really funny, for real. But it's also that thing of where, yeah, y'all gotta remember, like, y'all don't know these folks for real. You might have met them a couple of times. You might have gotten to interact with them in person a couple of times, but y'all don't know these folks for real. You know what I mean? And that's why, and that's where that parasocial relationship shit like really comes into play. And where that shit gets dangerous. Um, Saying that to say, which is really, like, really bringing that to my point of where, like, on both sides, for the creators and you know what I mean, and the subbies, like, you know what I mean, and the subbies and loyalists to these creators, yeah, to these creators, like, you know what I mean. It's cool to like share like life achievements and things of that nature with the community, and like, you know what I mean, with your community, and like, you know what I mean, share updates and things of that nature, um, with your community and shit like that. Um, as your life moves, like, you know what I mean, like as your life is moving along, and like, you know what I mean, for a lot of y'all, and for all intents and purposes, like a lot of these people like become a part of your life for real. Like I get that, like, you know what I mean, like they become a part of your life, they become a part of your day type shit, they become a part of your night type shit. Yeah, Yeah, you just like, you know what I mean. You getting to a point where like you just rocking with these folks heavy. Um, Case in point for me, one of my favorite creators, and I believe I've said that before millions of times on this channel. I've said it before like quite a few different times on my Twitch. But one of my favorite creators of all time is and like, you know what I mean, was and still is Cup of Noodle. Um, you know what I mean? Like she's hilarious. She's amazing. Um, Oftentimes, like, you know what I mean, like you'll find me along with everybody else in chat, giving her a hard time with, like, you know what I mean, giving her a hard time every time she get it wrong. Um, but regardless of all of that, I like, you know what I mean, like I love her to death and I fuck with her, and I don't want to do anything but see her win, um, wholeheartedly, and I really do mean that. I don't want to do nothing but see her win, and I want to see her thrive, um, and all of those things. Um, but saying that to say where it's also that thing of where I'm very much well aware um, that me and like, you know what I mean, me and Cuppa have never met in person. Um, you know what I mean? But it's because of the fact that like I've shared so much of my life with her, um, and she's shared so much about her life with not just me but the rest of the chat. But it's also that thing of where it's just like, just because of the fact that like I know all of these stories and things of that nature, and I know all of the backstories behind all of the inside jokes in Cupton, um, I'm also like, you know what I mean, I also like have a good enough head on my shoulder to realize that like I still don't know her though, type shit. You know what I mean? Like we live in the same state, but like I don't know her, type shit. Dig what I'm saying? So it's more so that with me, um, um, which is also like getting to that point of where for me of where it's just like, yeah, just be quite honest. It's one of those things for me, quite personally. Um, yeah, quite personally for me, it's one of those things of where, um, like, you know what I mean. It's one of those things where like I'm well aware that outside of the however many hours that she streams and that we spend with her, um, or that I spend in her chat with her, I know that you know, I just know how far that shit goes. Um, Probably because of the fact that I'm also a content creator myself, so it's like kind of that thing of where just like I get it type shit. For real, for real. If I could be honest, it's probably more so like mainly that type shit. Like I get it. Um, I get it. I don't know Shorty for real. Um, I don't like, you know what I mean. Like that don't make me like fuck with her any less. Um, but it's also that thing of where it's just like that. It's also that thing with me of where like there's still like a love that I have for her there where like I respect her. So like there's not shit that like I'm not gonna get to the point of where like I get so comfortable like I just say some like out of pocket left field shit. Um and for any of y'all that like are familiar with me and like know me, y'all know I'm not an out of pocket left field nigga. Um yeah, that's not really like my move, my stilo or no shit like that. So, you know, like I would never do that shit anyway. But it's just one of those things of where like this specific situation, um, with Bruce, like, you know what I mean, with Bruce and his mods, where it's just like it's that thing of where it's just like you can't share, like, you know what I mean, like it just like firmly just has me doubling down. Like as a content creator, you can't get too comfortable with these motherfuckers. like, yeah, these people are like people that you entrust, like, you know what I mean, like these are your mods, so you entrust them to help like keep the chat in order, uh keep all the fuckery and riffraff out, um of your streams and of your Discord servers and things of that nature, right? Like, it's all of that shit. um it's all of that shit or whatever, but it's just like, um yeah, it's just that thing of where personally, for me, like, yeah, you just gotta be careful with who the fuck you share, like with who the fuck like you share that kind of like information with, and two, like, you know what I mean, like, yeah, they're your mods and you like entrust them with so much, but that even that still goes so fucking far, if I could be honest, and that's just some free, that's some game for free 99 for your ass, man. Like, yeah, it's you can have, like, you know what I mean, like you can have those things of where like it gets to the point of where, like, even for me, like it went to a point of where like, um the way I was getting booked for stuff so much, um around 2017 18, I had to literally like start putting a staff together in place, for things that were going on, not like to flex or nothing, but just because of the fact that like that much shit was going on and that much shit was being handled, um, at a point in time where, yeah, I had to have like, I legit had to have a staff in place. I had to have somebody, um, like, you know what I mean, helping me out with scheduling, um, and things of that nature. It was, I had to have somebody who, like, you know what I mean, I had to have an assistant and things of that nature. And even with those people, I didn't share with them everything, because that's what the fuck my best friend, and like, you know what I mean, because that's what the fuck my best friends was for. Um, so I didn't, like, you know what I mean, like it was things that I was sharing with my best friend and stuff like that, that my, like, you know what I mean, that my business people who spent like a lot of their time with me, like, you know what I mean, who, like, people on my staff who spent a lot of time with me didn't know, but it was like that on purpose. And this is one of those things of where this specific situation is a whole example and a reason why. And again, that boy Rage said it the best, bro. He just like, bro, like, this is what happens when you fucking pillow talk to mods. Because that's exactly what the fuck happened. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you sitting here and you letting your feelings out to a bunch of these people that, like, in an instance are like a super dude, or like uber fans of you, and like rock with you tough enough to like be a mod in your chat and shit, like be a mod in your chat and type shit like that. But nah, fam, y'all niggas can't trust everybody. You can't, and I'll just keep it like that. Um, because it's personally my thing for me, like in that whole instance of where just like I have, um, yeah, I have my best friend, and then I have people that I share my inner thoughts and like share stuff that I have going on with. Um, but it's also that thing of where even with them, I don't screenshot shit and send them like personal information, or like I don't screenshot and send them information of like emails that emails that I get from like people and things of that nature. Um, Cause that shit ain't nobody business. Um, and I've said that shit, but fucking like I've said that shit, but fucking for, and I will say that shit absolutely again. I don't give ins and outs about none of my deals. Like, I'll let you know that, like, I got something cooking or I got something going on, but, like, I'm not going, you know what I mean? I'm not going to speak too much on, I don't speak too much about, like, the intricacies of every deal that I'm working on. Because everybody don't need to know that shit until I'm allowed to announce that shit. And that's just that on that. Getting into a little bit more drama, man. So, Jada Smith has a book coming out. That's very, very important for this next part. Because in that book, she mentions how in 2016, her and Will technically split. They technically got what we like to call in Hollywood an off-paper divorce. Of where it's that thing of where, like, technically, because it's like that thing of where yet and still, even now, they're legally married to each other, yet and still. Right the fuck now. So yeah, it's that. It's that on that in that instance. Yeah, they are legally still married, but according to Jada, then this is all that I'm going off of. I'm going off of all of the information that she gave in this interview. According to Jada, it's been since 2016 that they haven't been technically like together like that. Reason why that's an issue is because that makes that whole situation between her and August Alsina look even nastier. You know what I mean? Like that makes that, you know what I mean? Like that makes that situation with her and August look even more disgusting. And just as a man, it's like as a man personally for me, if I was Will, I would feel some type of way. But it's also that thing of where like I know me and I know my personality, so it's that thing of where it's just like I would feel some type of way because of the fact that she's talking about all of this shit publicly, and it's just like, man, fuck these people. That ain't none of their damn business. Like, I understand like you wrote it in the book or whatever, and that would make me feel some type of way too, because it's just like, why the fuck you put that in the book? Like, I feel like nobody really needed to know that for real. Yeah. Yeah, nobody needed to know that shit for real. And you know what I mean? Once again, shout out to the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast because my boy B Soul said that shit the best. Like, you know what I mean? Everything is turning into a fucking rollout. Because at the end of the day, that's really all of the fuck that this shit is. This shit is just some more shit to do because of the fact that she has a book. Like, you know what I mean? Because of the fact that she has a book out. So this is just some more shit to create traffic, to get y'all to go get the book, to get y'all to like you know what I mean, to get y'all to have y'all comments about it, which really isn't gonna affect her none, cause you've already made your transaction. So that's like, you know what I mean, like after that, like that, you know what I mean. Everything else is irrelevant to her at that point. So that's just that's just that on that. And that's just really, really, honestly, it's sad to see. It's sad to see for real. So I'm just gonna personally come out here and say this now on my platform. Jada, get better. You know, hope you're doing like, you know what I mean. Hope that you're able to go talk to somebody about this shit, because whatever the fuck it is you got going on, this is weird. Yeah, it's just weird. Anywho, moving onward and digressing and moving forward, let's get into some more sports talk. Um, as has been aforementioned, every week, I am here in Cali. For those of y'all that don't know, um, I'm here in Cali. I'm based in Cali, so uh, you know what I mean. I'm based in Cali. I have, like, you know what I mean. Like, outside of the fact that I'm a like uber fan of college football to begin with, I have a little cousin that plays um, at the University of Cal Berkeley. Um, he's amazing, and you know, love him to death. So speaking of which, we got to talk about it. The Cal Golden Bears went to Salt Lake, Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, this past weekend, um, and got embarrassed by the Utah Utes. Um, and it's crazy how I was talking about last week how it doesn't seem fair that Sam Jackson's not playing. Um, and I still feel that way. I'm not a fan of Ben Finley. Um, I'm not gonna shit on that Mendoza kid because I don't know too much about him. Obviously, because he's a freshman. So like, you know what I mean. I don't know too much about him. I haven't seen enough on him. Haven't seen enough, college tape on him to like have really more of an opinion than I do on Ben Finley. But as far as Ben Finley is concerned, like, bro's not good. I said that shit last week, and I'm doubling down. Bro's not good. Ben Finley, if you see this, you're a bad quarterback. You're a bad quarterback. You want me to say it one more time? You're a bad quarterback. Okay? You're bad at your job. It's not like, you know what I mean? There's no need to take that shit to heart. It's just my opinion off of what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Because quite honestly, based off of what you see of what I do, and based off of what you hear of the content that I put out, audio wise or video wise, you might sit there and say that, like, you know what I mean, I'm not good at what it is that I do. You know, it's the way the world works. We're allowed to have opinions, even if they're wrong. But yeah, man, that's just that on that. I was really really high and excited on the Cal Golden Bears going into the year. Um, that sense has definitely changed. Um, it's not so much that I'm not high on them, biased aside. It's not so much that I'm not still high on them. It's just more so the fact that now I'm just seeing the underusage of your top tier weapons. Um, you know what I mean? You got excellent receivers out there. Um, you got an amazing dual threat running back in Jalen Ott back there. Yeah, man, y'all gotta figure it out. Um, gotta figure it out and turn that shit around. 3-4 on the year. It would literally take a miracle for you guys to turn it around and run the table. But, you know, that is what it is on that. Moving on to another California team, the Fresno State Bulldogs. Bounced back against Utah State, doing their thing. And again, Mikey Klein is back. So that's a good thing to see. Glad to see that he wasn't out for far too long. Glad to see that, you know what I mean, Jalen Moss and the receiving core Had a good day. Glad to see that the Fresno State Bulldog defense bounced back. Um, I'm just saying all that to say that I still have Fresno State coming out of the Mountain West with the Mountain West championship. Um, I know Wyoming gave them a little bit of a run uh, last weekend. But I still have them as the favorites to come out of the Mountain West and do the damn thing. Um, I really show and prove that they're good enough to, like, you know what I mean. And really show and prove that they're good enough and that they belong. Um, yeah, and I still have them. I still have them walking out at the end of this year with a chip, in the Mountain West. Um, that being said, moving things over into Palo Alto, the Stanford Cardinals hosted Coach Primetime and the Colorado Buffaloes. Um, Honestly, they surprised me with this one. They surprised me with this one for real. They I didn't think that Stanford was gonna blow Colorado out. First of all, um, that's not what I thought at all. Um, but I also didn't have them winning this game going into it. Um, Now, granted, it took them to overtime to do it, um, but they did it nonetheless. So you know what I mean. Hats off to the Stanford Cardinals, and everything it is that y'all do or whatever. Um, and that's just that on that. Uh, Now, moving on down to things in the Southern California area. The UCLA Bruins ran into the Oregon State Beavers this weekend. Man, uh, first of all, I'm not gonna sit here and act like the Bruins had like the most powerful defense, one of the most powerful defenses in the Pac-12 or no shit like that. Um, but I expected them to put up a little bit more of a fight against DJ Uligali and that Oregon State Beavers offense. Um, but you know what I mean. DJ Uligali is the Clemson transfer. Um, he he's playing like he has something to prove, and boy does he. I guess. So like whatever happened behind the scenes between him and the Clemson organization, which is probably the same exact thing that happened between him and Kelly Bryant and the Clemson program. It's crazy. I was just like you know what I mean. Like y'all lose quarterbacks, and then the next year, wherever it is that they wind up balling. Um, yeah, yeah. But this is the second time that that's happened. Um, and I think in DJ's case, it's just the fact that yeah, actually, I don't know. So I'm not gonna speak on that for real because I don't know for real. Um, but yeah, man, that happened. And now he's at Oregon State, and Oregon State offensively is scary, and they're running it up. Um, and that's without question. They are running it up right now. Um, I'd hate to see what happens if him and Caleb Williams run into each other for the Pac-12 title. Um, Speaking of SC, because I skipped right over it on accident, they ran into Notre Dame, so that's a rivalry game for those of y'all that are unfamiliar. SC and Notre Dame are big time rivals, um, big big body rivals. It's a big body rivalry game. Um, and yeah, man, they ran into Notre Dame and they couldn't get it done. So remember what I told you, SC fans, when I said when you guys ran into when y'all ran into them Colorado boys and y'all barely got it done. This is what happens. Exactly that. This is exactly what I said. You know, still, you know what I mean? Still proving my damn point. This is exactly what I'm saying. Um, y'all fuck around and think because y'all got uh, Jerry Rice's son and Caleb Williams that, you know what I mean, that you think y'all are just unstoppable offensively. Um, and that can't nobody touch you because, like, you know what I mean? You think y'all are supposed to strike fear in people because of the fact that you guys are the USC Trojans. Well, them boys from South Bend showed you that they don't give a goddamn about any of that shit. Um, and you know, y'all fucked around and got punched in the mouth. Um, so you know, you just gotta. Ain't really nothing much else to do but to live with that shit. And move on and learn from it. That's really all I can say about that. Now, NBA preseason has started. I've been looking at it. I've been checking out a couple of preseason games. What I will say is out west, I am really excited with how I'm excited with how the Golden State Warriors look. Um, I'm not a fan of that lineup though. I'm not a fan of the idea of CP starting. Um, I thoroughly like and wholeheartedly think he should come off the bench. Um, uh, he just yeah, he just fucks off the lineup now. He fucks off that starting five. Um, but again, it's that thing. I get it because of the fact that it's Chris Paul, and you know what I mean. Like it's CP, and you don't want to, and you technically at this point in his career don't want to have CP coming off the bench, type shit or whatever. Um, I don't know. I just personally think down the line that's gonna wind up hurting a Golden State more than helping. Um, but it's also that thing of where I will still never count out Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors um, until they absolutely just get themselves bounced out of the playoffs. That's just that on that with that whole situation. Um, what else? My Pelicans look decent. Um, I'm not gonna hold my breath though. Um, just wait till the regular season starts and see what happens then. Um, Brandon Ingram looks really really good. C.J. McCollum, of course, always looks excellent. He looks like he's ready to go. Excited to see my young boy Dyson Daniels, um, Jordan Hawkins this year, the rookie that we drafted. I'm excited for that. Um, I guess Zion. Um, yeah, I guess. Just, this is what you've reduced my excitement to for you. So just be healthy, nigga. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Just be healthy. Be there. Type shit. Most hype prospect since LeBron James, and ain't showed a shit. Ain't showed an ounce of that. Ain't shown an ounce of it. That shit's crazy. Um. Anywho, moving on to the WNBA playoffs. Um. At the time of this recording, game 3 has already happened, and the New York Liberty wound up taking a game at home from the Las Vegas Aces. So the series is now 2-1 in the Aces favor. Um, yeah. So you know what I mean. The Las Vegas Aces are still up 2-1. Um, but yeah, man, like you know what I mean. Those girls are balling, and I've been saying that shit all year. And I've really been saying that shit all postseason. Like, these have been the two teams that I have wanted to see. Um, and the matchups are panning out exactly how I thought they would. Exactly how I thought they would. Um, you know what I mean? I still think the Las Vegas Aces have enough of the firepower to do it all and get the job done. Um, but again, like I've been saying, also like I've been saying before this series even started, I knew like the New York Liberty weren't just gonna lay down and like let them get their asses whooped. Um, Especially because for a lot of y'all that might not know, in Game 2 wasn't like a runaway for real. Um, the New York Liberty were actually up a lot of that game in Game 2, and the Las Vegas like, you know what I mean. The Las Vegas Aces just have enough pieces and the firepower in place um, to make that shit happen. Um, and you know, again, Becky Hammond is a hell of a coach, so um, that's that on that. And you know what I mean. She has my utmost respect, and I'm always rooting for her team to do. I'm always rooting for any team that she coaches to do well. Um, you know, just because she has the right pieces in place. Um, a lot of people want to talk about, like, you know what I mean, because of the fact that she has this year a first team all, you know what I mean, first an all WNBA first teamer in Asia Wilson. That, you know what I mean, she's obviously the star of that team, and you know what I mean, she runs the fucking show and shit like that. Like, not runs the fucking show, but like, you know what I mean, she's the star of the fucking show. There, that it's just her and like nobody else. But if you really pay attention to that roster, that whole entire roster is dangerous. You got Casey Plum, you got the point guard in Chelsea Gray, you got, you know what I mean, you got my young gunner and Jackie Young, Kia Stokes is a goon down there on that block. Um, and yeah, of course, like, you know what I mean, like Asia Wilson just obviously is no slouch. Um, she could just do shit with the ball so well at her position, and yeah, that's outside of the fact that I have like the hugest crush on her ever. Um, she just has a dominant ass game. Uh, you know what I mean? She just has a W ass game, and it's like, you know what I mean, and it's just fire as fuck to watch her play, um, and do the things. Um, Now on the New York Liberty side, they've been saying that shit all year. Like they also have the pieces in place to make an argument for why the fuck that they've been here. Like, you know what I mean? For why the fuck that they're here in the first place. You know what I mean? Brianna Stewart has been playing her ass off all year. Sabrina Ionescu has been playing her ass off all year. Vandersloot's been playing her ass off all year. You know what I mean? That whole crew. Um, you know what I mean? Big Jones down there in the paint. Um, yeah, Big Jones down there in the paint, holding shit down in the middle. Um, yeah, they just got a whole squad. They just got a whole squad that just gets it done together. Um, and both teams do on both sides. So that's why this series is so exciting to watch, because both teams have enough to get it done on both sides, and I'm really excited, and can't wait to see what Game 4, like, you know what I mean, what comes out of Game 4, because you know what I mean, it's gonna be exciting to watch. Um, But really, it's the biggest thing of where, like, what y'all gotta realize is that the New York Liberty have nothing to lose. The New York Liberty have absolutely nothing to lose. All of the pressure is still on the Las Vegas Aces to finish this shit the fuck out, because they have one more game to get the job done to become back-to-back champions. Um, so now it's that thing of where the New York Liberty just have the fucking luxury to go out there and just play ball. Which for the Las Vegas Aces is a dangerous, like, you know what I mean, is a dangerous thing to have to defend for 48 minutes. It's just a fact. That's just a whole fact. That's going to be something dangerous to have to defend for 48 whole minutes. But again, I still believe that they can get it done. And that's just that on that. Before we get into the MLB playoffs, I do want to just shout out quickly Logan Paul and KSI. They had their fights yesterday. Um, Logan Paul obviously got the W against Dylan Dennis. Um, and KSI, I mean, you ran into Tommy Fury. Just be lucky it wasn't Tyson, because you know, you get to walk away from this to talk about it. But yeah, man, the KSI and Tommy Fury fight, I'm still a little iffy about. Um, but you know what I mean. Tommy Fury wound up edging it out and getting the job done. So salute to those two guys, man. Content creators that have definitely made their way into that space of combat sports. Um, and now you can't deny them. Told y'all we taking over the world. Anyway, so National League Championship and American League Championship for MLB for the Major League Baseball playoffs. It's about to start off. It's about to start off soon. I am still high on those Houston Astros, man. They're a really good team. They're a really, really good team, and I'm super duper high on those boys, man. I think they can get it done. They have been getting it done so far. So, you know what I mean? It's just that point. It's just that point in the season when it's time to lock in, get this shit done, and you know what I mean? Clutch this shit out and make that shit happen, and bring back another chip to the beautiful city of Houston, Texas. Rooting for y'all boys. So that's just that on that for real. Now, granted, everybody's been playing ball, but you know what I mean. Everybody's been playing S tier level baseball at this point in the season. When this is really at this point in the season where you're goddamn right, they should be playing S tier level baseball. But yeah, man, they getting the shit done and they making shit happen. All right, we're gonna do something a little bit different before we go and get into the point of the honesty hour. And again, these people are not paying me to do this. These are just people that I definitely just think that y'all as a whole should definitely. These are artists from my world, from my part of Cali, that I think you should definitely give a chance to listen to and check out. First person is my homegirl Noelle Knows. Noelle, when you see this clip, shorty, I'm rooting for you. Keep doing your thing. Keep working. Keep grinding. Reason why I'm such a fan of her is because of the fact that she just has this vibe about her where she's not scared to bring something different to the game. And that's definitely what we need in this music space, especially here in the city. So many of y'all motherfuckers want to be like motherfuckers that are already famous. And y'all want to copy sounds that are already being done. Which is cool and that's cute because it's gonna get you a lot of looks and a lot of you know what I mean? It's gonna get you a lot of looks and it's gonna get you plugged in with a lot of people. The quick fast way, right? But nah, it's people like this young lady right here of why, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's people like this lady right here of why the game is gonna get to a point, you know what I mean, or why the game is gonna have to come shop with us, and then y'all niggas is gonna be mad that y'all didn't shop with us sooner, because y'all gonna be mad as fuck at the prices that y'all gonna have to pay for us, type shit, and it's gonna be because of people like Noelle Knows. So yeah, Noelle Knows is definitely the first one. Second person is definitely my brother from another mother. If you guys tune into my streams, twitch.tv or kick.com/BVMB1_47. Shameless plug. But yeah, if you guys tune into the streams on either of those platforms, I play his. I've started to do that thing of where I play a lot of his songs at the beginning um, of the starting soon screen. Um, just cause you know what I mean. He doesn't put out bad music, and that is none other than my brother from another mother, IZZIK himself, Isaac Yepes. Um, you know what I mean? That's little bro. I'm rocking with him the long way and the strong way. Pause. But yeah, you know what I mean. That's my little bro, and I want nothing but the best for him. You know what I mean. He's my brother. That's part of the Village Collective. Um, he does. He just does it the right way. You know what I mean. He just does everything the right way. You know, he's making that shit happen for him. He's making shit happen for himself, and that's you know, and that's all you can ask. And that's all I can ask of my fellow local artists is just do this shit the right way. So the fuck what is gonna take you a lot longer. Like, you know what I mean? So the fuck what if it's gonna take you longer? Doing that, trying to do this shit with the shortcut, trying to do the shortcut shit, um, ain't gonna work and it ain't gonna cut it. It's not gonna get that shit done. So yeah, man, make that shit happen. And keep making that shit happen, little bro. I'm proud of you, man. Love you, boy. Um, and these next guys, I'm like, you know what I mean? When I tell you that I still believe with my whole heart that this is the best band in the entire fucking world, um, I'm telling you, this is the best band in the fucking world, and that is none other than the Thornberries. Um, man, how do you want it, man? Like, that's just the whole point. Like, musical vibe, how do you want it? You want cumbia, they do that. You want funk, they do that. You want blues, they do that. You want um you want a you want a Midwest emo punk chorus, they do that with rap lyrics on top of it. Like, you know what I mean? Um they just do it, and it's just the best way I can describe it is that um the best way I can describe what it is that they do and what happens when they get up there and they do their goddamn thing is they get up there and shit just happens. That's the best way I can explain it. They get up there, shit just happens, and then after you're done listening to them, you're just like, where in the fuck did I just go for the past however long their set is? That's how that shit goes. That's why I'm so high on them. You know what I mean? And that's why I still, like, you know what I mean? I still and always will say that is the best fucking band in the fucking land. It's the best band in the fucking world. Prove me wrong. Only band that's close is my band, who doesn't have a name yet, and doesn't even have all of the musicians part, like doesn't even have all the instrument parts figured out. Um, and this next band that we're gonna talk about, and that is my brother High Up Seer and his band Orange Cat. You want to talk about a hip hop band that's just doing it the right way? Yeah, let's just talk about it. It just from, I'm telling you, from the very first second when my brother High Up Seer was like, see, bro, like, I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna do this, and motherfuckers like are gonna want to copy this like years down the line. And it's just like, yeah, exactly. They're because it just makes that sense because the live music element of it just never dies. So yeah, it's cool. You can have, like, you know what I mean. So it's like, yeah, that's cool. You had your whole debut album produced by all of the best, all of the top producers in the game. So the fuck what? If you like, you know what I mean? So the fuck what? It's about getting out there, and when you do that, when it's time to put on a goddamn show, it's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Orange Cat is that and does that. So yeah, that's just it's my artist highlights of the week, man. If y'all aren't checking them out, I mean that's your loss. You know what I mean? Again, none of these niggas are paying me to do that shit. That's just how much I love what it is that they do. Now, moving on to the honesty hour. Um, okay, yeah, cause a lot of y'all just know me on the internet. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of y'all just know me from the internet, and a lot of y'all just know me uh, from shit that it is that I like. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know me from like Twitch streams, or you know me from somebody's Discord server, or things of that nature. But yeah, a lot of y'all don't really know me, and so the point of and the main point of why I'm bringing that up is because of the fact that for whatever reason there was a comment that was made, um, and I don't think this person even realized that I was there because I didn't even say anything. Um, I was out somewhere minding my business, um, doing a little bit of shopping or whatever, and this person was telling whoever it was that whoever this person is to them that they were hanging out with, um, they were like, yeah, that kid Bambi's cool, like he's talented and all, but it's that thing of where it's just like like I can't really like fuck with him or get with like his music or whatever because of the fact that he just seems like too nice and it just like doesn't seem real. Well, again, because of the fact that like I promise you, I like usually I would not address no shit like this. Um, yeah, usually I would not address no shit like this, and it's because of the whole fact that like I don't want this shit like to be like the whole narrative behind my podcast and like my behind my platform and shit like that. Um, but it's just that thing of where it's just like I just have to like just address the shit like this straight out. Um, for a lot of these other niggas that are super nice guys, yeah, that shit like you know what I mean. Like that shit is just to cover up the fact that whatever they're dickheads or they're creeps or they're fuck boys or whatever the fuck. And it's just that thing of where it's coming to the point of where like I'm figuring out that like that really does like fuck with y'all enough because of the fact like that really does like fuck with y'all a lot because of the fact that it's this thing of where like I'm in the hip hop space and I talk my shit on that microphone and I pop my shit on that microphone. But other than like, you know what I mean? But as soon as I get off that fucking stage, I just like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But as soon as that microphone gets out of my fucking hand, I'm the sweetest motherfucker you will ever meet, ever in your life. And that fucks with y'all. Hmm. Go fig. Hmm. Does it trigger you? Are you bothered? Your little feelings hurt? Is that what it is? You'll be alright. That's just that on that, man. Um, so as was aforementioned, we're gonna get into a little bit of album talk, but before we get into um the album that I really want to talk about, there is one album back from 2018 that I thoroughly and wholeheartedly regret never putting out. Um, and never yeah, and never yeah, I don't know. Like I just started going through personal shit, and so like that's the reason why that album never came out. But it's um one of those things where like a lot of those songs that were supposed to go on that album will be going on SoundCloud in the next couple of weeks and months, just because of the fact that wholeheartedly and honestly and truly, man, um, yeah, wholeheartedly and honestly and truly, man, um, this album that I'm talking about was an album called Teen Rager. Um, and it was this thing of where it was gonna be like it was definitely gonna be a really like angsty. Um, it was supposed to be like a super duper angsty, psychedelic pop punk rap rock version of Travis Scott's album Rodeo. Um, and the reason of why like I'm saying like what the whole like idea was is because of the fact that I'm thoroughly confident that none of you niggas will be able to like even be close to capturing like this idea. And because of the fact that like that's the like spoiler alert, like they like you know what I mean, how I talk about how I don't like let y'all know moves because of just the fact that I really play this shit like chess. um so spoiler alert, like once I get it like get enough time to like set enough time to like really like start working on that, that's the next project that I'm working on. um so you know what I mean, my album Backstage Passport might drop uh mm, more than likely somewhere around like February. um is what I'm looking at. um yeah, I'm looking at more so somewhere like February type shit. uh in that regard, around there. And uh and then Teen Rager will be something that will drop in like December of 2024 type shit. um and yeah, it's again because of the fact of where it's just like I know y'all not gonna be able to like. I'm just saying that where it's just like niggas are gonna try to copy it, or they're gonna try to do like a really really like super duper like uber ghetto version of it, and it's not even gonna be the fucking same. Um, but I'm thoroughly okay with that, and I'm fine with that. Um, because of the fact that like you know what I mean, like y'all boys ain't gonna be able to copy it. Um, but yeah, it was just this thing of where it was supposed to like, and the reason why I called it Teen Rager is because it was supposed to be something that just really, really like spoke to like an angrier, angstier side of myself. Um, and it was gonna be one of my first like, it's gonna be one of my first like super introspective albums, um, type shit and things of that nature. Um, reason why I say it was supposed to be the first is the reason why it's not going to be the first is because of the fact that Backstage Passport is coming out before that, and Backstage Passport is super duper introspective. Um, but like in a fun, like experimental, like pop rap kind of way. Um, so yeah, that's just that on that. After we get some other stuff figured out, um, and like you know what I mean. Once we get the stream schedule definitely locked down and arranged, um, yeah. Right now, the whole thing is focusing on that, um, and focusing on like you know what I mean, getting the momentum and the schedule down for doing these, and you know what I mean, doing these cozy corner pods, um, and then yeah, and then yeah, getting the schedule like locked down for real on these cozy corner pods and things of that nature, and yeah, and getting these things locked down and figured the fuck out. Um, yeah, That'll be the next thing. In the pipe. That's the next thing in the pipeline to work on. Um, but now for some of y'all are like, oh, why don't you just work on it right now? Like, I mean, you're doing this shit and then like you're just posting them on YouTube at the moment. So it's like I don't get it. Personally, me personally, I would just, you know, I would just do the thing and like, you know what I mean. I just do the thing and just make that shit happen. Why you waiting? What you gotta understand is that especially with my albums, I take a lot of time with those. Um, and yeah, and when I'm in album mode, like that's all I'm focused on until that shit is done. Um, until everything on my end is done. Um, and it's that thing of where just like if I need verses on shit and shit like that, then like that's like you know what I mean. And then it's the reaching out to people and making sure I get verses back. And making sure I get verses back in a good amount of time, and things of that nature, and all of the other shit, right? Um, so that's the that's the whole reason of why, um, and that's that whole thing of why that's so important. Again, because of the fact that we just want to like really really focus on making sure that these podcasts, these streams, um, especially the Showstopper TV series next year, um, don't look like anything else on the fucking net. Um, it's the whole fucking point. Um, just again, just taking in and looking at what the current landscape is, and like just trying to figure out um, how we make that shit look next level with what it is that we have, type shit. You know what I mean? Um, and so that's the focus on that, and that's where, like, you know what I mean. That's where that is, and that's the thought process on that. Um, yeah, man, that's just the process on that for real. Uh, Now, with the reason of why we're waiting until 2024 to focus on dropping um, a backstage passport for all of you guys that keep asking. Um, We have the Mewtwo project dropping in December. The Owl House demo is already out right now. If you have not listened to that shit, go listen to it. Um, so that's our main focus right now, project wise and promo wise, of what, like, you know what I mean, of what we're kind of pushing, um, of what we're pushing in that aspect as far as content. On the music side of things, as far as musical content, that's what we're focused on pushing, and getting ready to push, especially for the fact that the Mewtwo project is the first full-blown R&B EP that I've ever done. Everything that I usually have done before is usually it's a mixture, and that's again getting that from somebody like Drake and Lauryn Hill, who do both. And so yeah, that's on that. As far as those things are concerned, um, and it's also that thing too of where, um, for me, I'm gonna be starting to add another studio session day to kind of just studio session day to my schedule to kind of just not kind of just to keep me sharp and keep the creative mind in a good space, like, you know what I mean, and just keep the creativity in an S tier space, because of the fact that what y'all have to realize, and this may make y'all feel away, some of y'all, and other y'all may be like, well, I'm not really like that, so he's not talking about me. You're right, I'm not. So shut up and let me talk to the people who are actually like this. Performing and putting out music for some of y'all motherfuckers is really, really, really like the most stressful shit ever. And really the most frustrating shit ever. Because it's that whole thing of where it's just like, and I feel like I've said this a lot, but it's also that thing of where it's like I'm gonna continually keep saying it because it's just fucking true. One, performing for people that I know will forever be something that's harder than performing for anybody that I don't know. I'm gonna just say that shit right the fuck now. Cause I can perform at a venue like a Goldstein's in Tower District here in town, bunch of in front of all of their fucking regulars and rip the fucking building in half, and not think anything of it. You know what I mean? And just like be chilling and not think anything of that shit. Or, but it's just something about performing in front of like people that you know, or like people that like have seen me grow up, and then it's all of that thing where it's just like for the couple of people that do know me, that have come to a couple of my shows and been like, I didn't know you talked like that. It's like, yeah, I do. like, yeah, I do. Is it weird now? Are you gonna judge me? Type shit. Like, you know what I mean? It just becomes a whole thing. So that's one thing. And like it's just that thing where like y'all motherfuckers be super like duper judgmental. Now it's that thing of where for those of you on the internet, y'all are so unbearable and like impossible to please, because it's that whole thing of where it's just like y'all motherfuckers, like I swear y'all motherfuckers don't like nothing. I swear to God y'all don't, until somebody else tells you to like it type shit. Cause it's that thing of where it's the way of where it could be like 6 of you motherfuckers that'll put out a fucking YouTube video talking about, oh, we missed the era of music that used to all be different and pushing the limits and used to this, that, and the third and all of these other things. Like, you know what I mean? And everybody was different. And individualism was at its peak in this era, and then literally a super individual like me comes the fuck along, and y'all niggas are like, nah, this nigga's weird. Like, he should just do some more shit that like we're familiar with, before introducing us to whatever it is the fuck this is that he's got going on. Because mentally, I'm not ready for whatever the fuck this is right now. And then, like, you know what I mean? It's that thing where, for me, because of the fact that I'm me, my literal response back is, well, fuck that. Well, I mean, too fucking bad. Like, you just got to deal with that shit. Because it's different. And I'm different. And I'm not going to stop being different because of the fact that you don't understand that I'm different. Oh, well, nigga. I'm different. And that's all what it is, bro. There's already a J. Cole. There's already a Drake. There's already a Future. There's already a Earth Gang. There's already a JID. There's already a Boss. There's already a Smino. There's already a Saba and a Pivot Gang. Y'all niggas don't, like, why would you want another one of those? Just make it make sense. For me, that's all I ask. It's really all I ask. Just make it make sense for me. That's all I have to say on that, for real. And yeah, man. Yeah. I just yeah. Yeah. That's just yeah. That's just that on that. I don't have anything else to really um with that. Really like Shay with that. So that's just the main like points of behind um why I'm game planning dropping the album the way I'm dropping it. Um because of the fact that at least if I drop it earlier in the year, um especially like with an album like Backstage Passport, because of the fact that for the first time in my career, like I really had shared so much of what was going on in here and up here on wax. Like, I want that shit to really matter to y'all when it drops, because I really went through that shit, and that was the only way I could get, and like, you know what I mean. And I was my only way I could get through that shit was to write that shit the fuck out. So again, when I dropped that shit around February, and your life is fucking like good and great and everything's fucking amazing, um, and you want to sit there, and before you get there to start making your little think piece talking about some, why would he drop an album like this when my life right now is going real good, so I can't relate. Exactly, that's just not for you, stupid. It's for the people that can relate. Fuck nut. Anyway, so that's that on that. All right, man. This last part is gonna be really super short, but I've said this shit before, and I've said this shit again. Um, don't let me be one of the motherfuckers. Cause I could like really care less about who the fuck else you're talking to. Um, Or if like, you know what I mean, like your move right now is you want to talk to multiple people and like feel niggas, like, you know what I mean, feel the vibe of niggas out. Um, but personally for me, my whole thing is don't let me be a nigga that like texts you every now and again, um, saying how much I love and care about you, and then you fuck around and turn around and post on the internet of how like nobody like I want to sit here and talk about ain't nobody out here trying to love me for real. And then want to turn around and get mad when the nigga don't talk to you for 6 months. Like, yeah, nigga, because the last time I did, you either A, didn't believe me, or B, acted like a fucking weirdo when I did. So it's just like, man, fuck that. Fuck that. Because at the end of the day, it's like that big. It's the biggest thing for me, where it's just like some of y'all women have to realize is that niggas have feelings too. Now I'm always gonna be the realest and most stand up of all stand up niggas as I can possibly be. But you also have to understand that a nigga like me has feelings. And sometimes with some of the shit that you post, shorty, yeah, that shit hurts my feelings. Since we want to talk about it, yes, my feelings are hurt. Yes, I'm emotional. But you want to fight? That's a question. Like, do you want to fight about it? Because we can do that. Because that shit just like makes no sense to me. Where it's just like y'all are allowed to be emotional, but y'all can say the most disrespectful, like heart cutting, like kicking the dick like type shit, and niggas ain't supposed to feel no way about it. Oh no, fuck that. Not with me, not Big Bambi. You got me fucked up incredibly. Better know that. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. Ain't nobody playing with y'all at all. So yeah, for me, it's that thing where it just like, don't let me be the nigga that you texting while you gonna post that goofy shit. And I don't want to hear no, oh, that's just for the internet type shit, because I don't do that. Even the shit that I do for the internet is authentic. So you can't use that line with a nigga like me. I really stand on everything that I'm like, you know what I mean? All of this shit is me standing on business. So I'm just gonna say this shit right the fuck now. If I don't text you if I don't text you for like 3 fucking years, you know why now. Come back and watch this pod and figure out why. This is exactly fucking why. I'm sitting here texting you, DMing you, talking about you're amazing and you're beautiful and how much I fucking love you, but then you want to post on the fucking net that love ain't meant for you, and that niggas out here don't really love you for real. Bet. Bet. Because I guess I'm just a fucking alien. It's like, bet. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, word? Bet. Bet. And if I'm going through something, don't text me back either, fuck nigga, because I'm not gonna respond to you. That's how the fuck I feel about that. And that's just that on that. Anyway, man, I digress. If y'all enjoyed what the fuck y'all heard today, if y'all enjoyed what the fuck we talked about today, if you enjoyed the vibes today, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, uh, Feel free to drop a comment of which part of the pod was your favorite. If you have a favorite part, we do be checking those. Um, yeah, we do be checking those, and we do thoroughly appreciate all of y'all that are liking and subbed up and all of these things. Once we do get back to the streaming thing, do come catch us out. Do come check us out on either Kick or Twitch at BVMB1_47. Follow me on the gram at KingJojo_93. Yeah, man. And if you have not heard the Owl House demo already, Spotify, YouTube, whatever your streaming platform is, BVMBIXBAMBI, the Owl House demo, go listen to that. Run the numbers up on that. Definitely right now, I just want to give a special shout out to all of my listeners out there in Paris and Japan. Thank you so much for loving on me the way you guys love on me. It means the absolute world to me. And, shout out to Norway once again for giving me another giving me another top 20 underground hit. You know what I mean? Thanks for putting me in the top 20 of your you know what I mean? Thanks for putting the Owl House demo in your top 20 of underground projects of the month. Yeah, man, it means a lot. It's glad to know that people still care about the art form of this shit. Because it's fun and it's entertaining, but I'm still talking my shit and I'm still barring up, and that's never gonna stop. It might not be your favorite shit, but it's somebody's favorite shit because the numbers keep going up. Pussy. Oh my god. All that being said, man, if you have not heard this shit today, do know that you're important, you do matter, and your life has value. And do know that what you're looking for is not outside you. It never has been and it never will be. And lastly and most importantly, do remember this. We are here. We are many. We are dope and we are different. We are and we always will be Club Bambi. Till next time, y'all. Catch y'all next week. Peace.